Question is, they say that this is really the first group ever that's been going into realization and staying in their bodies, staying on the planet. Why is it that so many systems and self-help programs, why is it that they're really not effective in terms of enlightenment or realization? There's a lot of self-help programs out there, and you've always spent a lot of money on them. There's a lot of spiritual, what I call guru courses out there, and some of you have taken them. Some of you have been in ashrams for a long time. Some of you have taken, you paid a lot of good money to have discipline and suffer and being told what an idiot you are. Not here, of course, but other places. Why is it that they're really not effective in terms of realization? Linda, please.
You were begging.
Oh,
Yes, my dear.
I think they're approaching it from the outside instead of from the inside. What's
Okay.
in you?
Approaching it from the outside. Okay, good answer. See the wisdom? Oh, it's just radiating. Okay, why is it that some of these self-help courses and spiritual courses, why is it they're not effective in terms of realization? Yes, sir.
Basically, is it on?
It's on.
They have their program for you rather than your own program for yourself.
Yeah. Excellent. Good. A couple more. These self-help programs and courses, why is it that they're ultimately really not effective?
Your hand was in the air.
I think he's picking his nose, but that's besides the point.
There's no money in it.
There's no money in it.
No money in it if you become aware.
Oh, okay. Kind of. They're invested in it, so you
Well,
never
yeah.
quite get there.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
That's why your checkbook keeps coming out.
Aha.
Or the credit card.
Interesting. So an investment, in other words, the healer never fully heals the people. It keeps. Oh, you've got a new problem.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Have you been in anything like that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't we all?
Well, what caused you to get out? Why did you leave?
Awareness.
Good. Oh,
And
you
the
guys are
checkbook
too
went
good. I
away.
can't pick on you anymore. It's really annoying. You know, I have nothing to come back at you with.
So, Adamus,
Well,
do you want me to pick on one? Do you want me to pick out a different kind of energy?
Well, it'd be a little obvious now. Okay, no more wisdom. How about Shambhala stupidity? Boom. I wouldn't want to be getting the mic on that one. No, let's stay with wisdom. These are really good. And it's showing one thing, that you are allowing the wisdom. And watch when the answers are given. It used to be when the answers were given that there would be a mental response to it with a lot of stammering and a lot of, you could see the person going up there into a mental answer. You, dear sir, straight from the heart, no macchio, clear answer. That is wisdom.
Well, yeah.
And it didn't take him 15 minutes to get to his story. I mean, it's right there. That's wisdom. Remember when we would gather, a question would be asked, and somebody would go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then I would rudely interrupt and say, back to the question, to the summary, what's the answer? You guys are no fun anymore because you're not doing that. So, but continue, we'll see.
Okay.
Please continue. Self-help programs, these so-called spiritual classes. And by the way, I'm just going to pause for a moment here before you answer that. Cauldre complains to me once in a while, daily, that that sometimes he and Linda get the bad email, and Bonnie get the bad email for me making rude statements saying that a lot of these courses are total rip-offs, well, hello, or macchio. They are. But don't necessarily accuse the ones who are putting it out. Accuse the humans who are taking it. Yeah, they're taking it. Why? Well, let's continue. back to the question, why don't these things work? These self-help programs, these spiritual courses, the disciplines, they're effective up to a point, but why don't they work in realization, coming into realization? Yes, sir.
Beep, beep, beep. Wait a minute. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Garbage
it was
truck
a garbage
backing up.
truck
They didn't
coming
get
by.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Huh? Garbage truck, Kasumi, last month. Okay, great. How was it last month for you? Did you get rid of a lot of garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm just checking your energy out. There's something there we got to get rid of
Yeah.
today, but that's okay.
That's why we're
it's not,
here.
It's not that big. So why do David, you've taken quite a few of these things. Spent a few dollars on them,
Absolutely.
spent a little bit of time.
Yes.
Why are they not effective going into realization?
Most are mental,
Yes,
effort, trying,
yes,
discipline,
yes.
and they really have not included the most essential ingredient, allowing.
Can't say it any better. David just summarized it. I was going to stretch this little thing out for a while, but I can't. David summarized what you've all said. First of all, they are not yours. They are not yours. And that's a really good note for all of you. If you're a healer of any type, first of all, if you consider yourself an energy worker, healer, you better understand what energy is before you continue your practice. You need to be able to understand, to define it for yourself, what is energy. Otherwise, you're playing around with something that is potent and is going to eventually bring up a seduction of power. So if you are an energy worker, you consider yourself that. Nothing wrong with that, but you need to understand what energy is. And if you are doing any sort of, the reason why these courses really aren't effective is they're not yours. They're somebody else's. Somebody else's Reiki, somebody else's energy balancing, somebody else's physical or mental balancing. What you've learned through the courses has gotten you to this point, but they're not going to bring you into realization. It's got to be your own. And that's such an important thing. It's one of the key points today. When you get to this point, you can't rely on somebody else's anymore. Somebody else's system, somebody else's discipline, somebody else's chanting, oming, sweat lodging, or whatever else it is. Because that person has not got to the point that you're at. The person who developed that course has not gotten you to this point. So why go to college and take classes from somebody in 6th grade? The energy, the consciousness is not yours, and it's not going to work anymore. There's not a compatibility with their program anymore. And as David and several of you mentioned, it's very mental. It's very, very mental. It's a discipline. It will get you caught in it. Initially, it's very, very good, and to get some things moving, but then it's going to seduce you into it, to have you stay in it, and not just for the money, but sometimes get you to rely on it. You get to this point in the journey, and you give up all those things. You honor them, bless them for being in your life, but you realize it's not what's going to bring you into realization. There's just one thing at this point, just one thing, and it's allowing. That is it. Allowing can be really scary because you're not relying on somebody or something else. When I'm up here at the Shouds or in the workshops and gatherings, I'm telling a story. I'm not telling you what to do. We're not developing new systems. I'll sometimes show you how things are structured. I'll help define things that you already know, but weren't quite sure how to put into words. There's nothing in our work together, Crimson Circle, Shaumbra work, none of it, that is a system that has to be followed. You don't have to start at a certain point and end at a certain point, go through different levels or anything else. They simply, at this point, don't work and can actually work against you. Allowing is, and I know some of you are rolling your eyes. I saw you. Say, oh, we're going to talk about allowing again. Yes, because it's the single most important thing that you can ever do for yourself now. Before you followed others, you took their courses, their classes, you took their self-help programs. Now it's just you. You, the master, the I am, allowing that integration. It's not the words that I say. It's not. I'm not giving you a specific direction on things. I'm just repeating, coming back here in our shouts and telling you what you already know, where you are on the path. Ultimately, from here forward, it's all just about allowing. And it's really quite amazing because it's, you could say allowing is now in the coasting mode, the natural, the autopilot mode. Allowing, you don't go out and do your daily disciplines. Allowing, you don't have to go on some strange diet. You don't have to follow a guru. And none of that. It is you and you and you. Yourself, the human of experience, the master of wisdom, the I am of presence. Whew. Just allowing all that. No more studying, no more working, no more stressing, no more macchio. It's all about allowing. Let's take just a moment to do that. There's been a lot of misunderstanding about allowing. It's like allowing everything out there. No. It's the master, the human, the I am. And as simple as that sounds, you know, a lot of people are afraid of that because they're afraid of themselves. They're afraid of if they open up, suddenly Satan's going to come in, or dark force, or aliens, or something. It's an old fear. It's a religious fear. It's a fear of self. When they're worried about allowing, opening up, taking away all the walls, all the defenses, they're worried about some dark force coming in. It's really themselves they're worried about. I mean, ultimately, they blame it on the outside, an outside evil entity. There are still Shambra, not many, but there are still, that insist that there are aliens doing anal probes on them, aliens clinging onto their bodies, and there are outside evil dark forces hanging around them. No. It barely ever happens. You know, this whole thing, I forgot what you call it. Linda, you know the word, like not poltergeist, exorcism, demonic possession. 99.999% of the cases are not outside forces. They're from within. They're the inner darkness. It's much easier to deal with them when you put them on the outside. When you say, I'm being attacked by alien dark energies. Much easier because then you're the victim. And then you can keep playing in that human experience, and what an experience that is. But ultimately you recognize that's your own darkness. That's your own self. Those demons, those dark beings. So when one comes into allowing, that's a tremendous sense of trust in I am. Tremendous amount of trust. But it's also kind of coasting now, kind of taking a deep breath. You did all the hard work. We're here and now just allowing. Let's take a good deep breath and do just that. Just allowing. I saw your eye roll again. I know we talk about allowing a lot, but it's the most precious gift you can give yourself right now. Allowing self, allowing the integration of the master and the I am presence, allowing this caterpillar, which has gone into the cocoon, now to emerge. That's it. It doesn't come through any hard work, mental exercises, mantras, or anything else at this point. It is all through allowing, a very natural process. That's it. Many of you will teach, and that meaning not necessarily in front of a group, but you're going to share your wisdom with others, maybe one-on-one, maybe through a book or a class or something like that. Don't teach disciplines, systems. Don't teach rigid type of hierarchical level 1, level 2, level 3 type of things. Ultimately, it's not going to serve the human. And one of the challenges in it, there is a tremendous seduction of power in that. We know now, you know, that power is an illusion, but power is a huge seduction. More of a seduction than sex, money, any of those. Power. And power ultimately, it's an illusion because it's basically saying energy is outside of me. I need to get it from all these other places. That's really what power is. Whether it comes in the form of money or control over other people, but it's saying it's all outside of me, therefore I need power. It's not needed at all, because everything is within you. It's all there. You don't need power whatsoever, and you're learning to be true energy masters. You don't need it from anywhere else. And that, again, comes from allowing, and is such a relief, not to have to get it from another person, not to have to get it from possessions, control, or hard work. It's just there. But it's also a huge challenge. Let's take a good deep breath.